We meet him when he's 40, so we don't get the first 40 years. We get the second 40 years, basically. We know he's 40, he's married, and he has a daughter, and he's a theater director in Schenectady, New York. And that's him. That's who he is, and it's his life. And he eventually moves to New York, and he puts on a theater piece that he's creating over a bunch of years because of a grant he's given. But I hesitate to say more than that because that's really what it is, you know. And eventually his wife leaves him, and he remarries, has another child with another woman, you know, has an affair with a woman throughout his life, this other woman. His theater piece grows and grows and grows beyond his wildest imagination. I don't think anyone ever sees it, but he keeps creating it and working on it. And it has to do with life and him trying to understand life and his life and life in general. Until he dies, he wants to create the great piece of art. He wants to leave something, you know, that you know, that his life will end. You know, that it's right there, it could go, and that he has all this heartbreak around him, and death and separation and heartbreak and challenge of just creating art. And how that obviously they have everything to do with each other, life and art, and I do think that they reflect each other, and he understands that. And I think that's what the piece is about, trying to reflect life, you know, his life, but life in general. But ultimately, I think his passion to create something so true that it's just so sad and brilliant and heartbreaking, and just like life is, and he wants to create that, you know. He wants to make, and that's really hard to do, you know. And I think, you know, but the extent and the lengths he goes to are pretty amazing. I think there must be there's obviously some selfish reasons of being able to view his own life, and therefore view it, he'd maybe learn something or be able to change. I think that's in there, but I do think the overriding fact is truth. Is to get to the bottom of it somehow, but I don't think that's pretty profound. I don't think you have to make it more profound than that. But ultimately, truly, it's a man's life. The art of it is just a reflection of that life, and I think that's what life is. Whether you're a plumber or a truck driver or whatever, that's your art, you know, whether people think that's crazy or not. I mean, life reflects what you do, you know what I mean, and vice versa. And it's just kind of this reflection that he has, that he literally creates. So even when we were shooting, I didn't like talking about it too much because I knew it just had to do with somebody wanting to create something great and honest and true pertaining to life, and a true mirror up to nature, you know, and then his desire to want to leave something, and that his desire to be loved for leaving something, you know. Then we really get down to his desire to be appreciated and loved, and that's a primary need of everyone on the earth, and that's a lot of what drove him, you know. So it's many different things. It is like you're inside someone's life and how life is and how time moves in life, and what you remember, what you don't remember, and what you understand and what you don't understand, and how things are moving along, and relationships end and relationships start, and death, and how life's just like that. It's just flying by, and the older you get, the faster it's going, and he really captures all that quite beautifully. And so it really is the whole. I think he's, you know, done something really special. Well, he ages throughout the film, so he goes from 40 to about 80, I think. It's, you know, not said specifically how old he is at the end, but so there was a lot of makeup. There was, I think, like 7 different looks for the guy, hair and makeup and everything. And he also, you know, from about 50 something on, he's with a cane because he gets this leg condition that's never really identified, and that's kind of a funny thing. But he also gets boils, and he gets sick, and he gets diseases, and things come and go, you know, like in anybody's life, you know, and those things really bother him. I think he gets really fearful about being sick and dying and these things. I think it really scares him and it fills him with fear and anxiety, like anybody, but maybe a little bit more than most. And that's also something that's driving him, you know. So yeah, there was a lot of technical, you know, stuff I had to do with makeup and things. Yeah, it's just exhausting more than anything because you just had to change the makeup, and which takes a long time, and the skin on my face went through a real tough period. But it is. But you got to kind of just let go and give in and surrender to it, you know, and stop worrying about it. But it was more of a time issue. You know, what would give us the most time to work? You know, that's really what became the issue more than anything. You don't want to eat up too much time, me and the makeup trailer. Charlie and I met. I was doing a play at the time. I remember I was acting in a play, and I would meet with him a couple times a week, and we would read through stuff. And it's funny, we actually met a bunch, you know, and rehearsed as much as we could, actually. Not a lot, but enough, a lot. And that stuff's really helpful because what you do is you get inside the mind of the director, and they get inside your mind, and so you start to what it really helps more is the vocabulary you guys have together, the relationships. So when you show up on the set, you already have a rapport, an understanding about things that you're talking about. And that was helpful for this because this film was huge. Synecdoche was a big project. It shot for I think 9 weeks, and it could have easily shot for 15. You know, and it was a bear. You know, and so we had to be as prepared as possible to tackle what we did tackle, and we had to have a understanding of each other in a way that would, you know, get us through that. And the rehearsals helped a lot. But he has an incredibly imaginative mind and challenging mind, and he doesn't stop thinking, and he has wonderful ideas, but he also has incredible humanity. And so he's not just an idea man, you know, he's a heartfelt man too, and it's just, you know, an incredibly imaginative, thought-provoking, intelligent way to look at a man's life. You know, and how life, and how dealing with time, and how time changes as you age, and, you know, and relationships and families and everything that goes on and goes by, and I mean, he just, you know, somebody's career, their art, their everything. I think he was a really wonderful director. I think he is a director. I think he's obviously a great writer, but I think he's a director. I think he is one of those auteur type people, and they're a specific type of person, you know, and I do think he is that guy. There was never any time when we were shooting that I felt like he didn't understand what it meant to direct. He didn't understand what it meant to converse with the actor or the DP or whoever in a way that clarified a situation or helped or aided in some way. That he didn't, you know, fight for what he thought was the thing that needed to happen, that he didn't have empathy for the struggles that everyone was going through, you know, that he had that quality, and he had stamina. So I think he to me, he might as well have been directing his whole life, in my view. I think he is purely innovative, and it is stimulating to the people around him. I don't think he settles for the pat or the merely understood. I think he's looking at the things that he himself actually can't wrap his head around. I think that's what he's actually looking at. It is a dramatic rendition of a life, but it's, you know, his incredible sense of humor. No, there's a lot of funny stuff. Maybe not as much as usual, but yeah, he's an incredibly funny guy. Yeah, Charlie has a way with the women. He did. He attracted a lot of amazing women. He sure did. I think he's saying something about a man's what women are to men. You know, I mean, definitely the film is definitely dealing with. It says a lot about that women are the most beautiful thing. You know, something about that. You know, so there are a lot of these really great little parts. Not all of them little, but there's a lot of great parts for women in the movie. I mean, there's Caden, and then there's like 7 women. You know, it's Michelle Williams, Samantha Morton, Catherine Keener, Emily Watson. You know, Diane, and it's just Diane Wiest. It's and I know I'm forgetting people. Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hope Davis. It's I mean, it was like this, all-star team or something. You know what I mean? It really was an incredible all-star team of actors, and I had a connection to all of them. And I think that says a lot about them. It says a lot about them, and that they showed up with an open heart to me, because I was going through the through the war with this thing, and they would show up, and they were so kind and open and just let me struggle, and they were just so beautiful and wonderful. All of them were so good. Catherine Keener is somebody I have a very strong affection for, somebody I've worked with before. And she plays my first wife, and that is the relationship that I think most, other than the Samantha Morton character, I think profoundly affects Caden. And you see that one through the whole film. So there is a special quality to that relationship, and I think also to the relationship Catherine and I have. And acting with her is something I really enjoy. But they were all really incredible. They really were. And I think that Charlie is a unique unique artist in our business. He's somebody that I know I've looked up to, and I think many people do, and many people see as somebody who's doing something that's innovative and new and exciting. And so like he attracted me, he attracted them. I think people want to work with him knowing they'll be a part of something that is not your everyday thing. But the parts are also pretty, and he also is a charming guy. Yeah, so.